Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Margaret and I'm here doing a live Q&A. This is also, I normally do a week in review and I'm sort of revamping it because some weeks I feel like I just ramble, but I guess that's okay because I need it and I think that sometimes you need it too, whether you know it or not. No, not necessarily, but just as, it's a lonely profession being a reseller. There's not always so I feel like I can come here and talk about how things are going and making sure things are the way they ought to be. So hello, everybody. Hi in the chat. I see we've got quite a few people, and I meant it when I said it brought a smile on my face because I'll tell you in a second. It's been kind of a stressful last, not quite 24 hours, but I'll tell you about it. Hey, going on, Grumpy and Henry. Hello, Kathy B. Turtle Trader is there. And Gail Richardson, hello. And Maggie, hi Maggie. Okay, and then, we've got a few more that jumped in. And Stone Mason and Susan Gardner, hello. Hello, Han Fam 4 and Joni, yay. Hey Kelly from Florida, how's it going? You always leave me the nicest comments. I appreciate them. So I guess I'll just tell you what's been going on and why before I hit go, I was like sitting here going, man, what am I doing? I don't know if I feel like it today, but I'm sure by the end, this happened one of the last times. My mood improved quite a bit. Yesterday, our town had their big Christmas in the park and the Christmas parade, and a boy went missing. And I'm trying not to tear up, but it's been an emotional. He went missing about 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon, and so they didn't send out a message. Like our town has a message system, like the police can send you a voicemail. So we would get voicemails and texts, and it came in around 10:30 last night that this little boy went missing, and he was 11, and he had some form of autism. They didn't really specify, but he was riding his bike following the parade route, following the fire truck, and then he was just gone. And so I'm trying not to tear up because I'm just like, oh my gosh, you hear about these things happening in other places. Sorry, my Snoopy clock's going off. And then it's our town, So as soon as that text came in, I am crying. Look at me. I'm a sob. Okay. So anyway, as soon as that message came in, we were in bed, getting ready for bed, and Randy got up, put his clothes on, and he's like, I'm going out, And well, there's good news, Kelly. So I'm tearing up, but it ends happily, thankfully. So Randy gets up, gets dressed, goes out, and then he comes back after about an hour or so, and we'd gotten some more information about kind of where he lived. And so then Randy went back out again. So he didn't get home till like well after midnight. He was driving around. And then we have a Facebook page for our town. And so a few other parents were saying, oh yeah, we're going out. Because Randy was like, if it was one of my boys out there, we would want every single body in this town out looking, right? So then he came home. And then I was, all night just having trouble. I couldn't sleep. I was just sick about it, And another boy just last month in the Houston area with autism went missing, and he was found not alive. So it was just too close to home, and this other stuff had just happened. So this morning we went out again. I was like, Randy, we got to go out driving, So we went out. We started driving around, looking, and as we were driving, we got the voice message through the police system saying that they found him and he was alive and he was well and everything. Sorry to start with the scary stuff, but I mean, it's been really emotional. I don't know this family. I don't know this kid, but it's when it hits that close to home and it's in your town and you're like, what can I do? I mean, they hadn't organized a search or anything like that, but they let it, the police system let us know they were out looking. They had the dogs. They had the helicopter. I guess they have some helicopter that they can at night do something. So I know, right, Maggie? It was so scary for his family. But yes, they did. So this morning, I guess it was about 9 or so, we got the message. And I was messaging with Caroline and a couple of my other friends saying, this is going on. And I'm just like sick about it. Like I was crying. When that message came through, I was a bawling mess. Like, what is going on, I just kept thinking, if it was one of my boys, oh my goodness, I don't know what I would do. It was just so, so close to home. We've never had anything like that so close to home here. So yeah, I mean, if it ever happens where you are, even if you don't have kids, get out there and look, because that's what every mom would want. I'm just thinking, my friend AJ called me this morning, and she was out driving before Randy got up. She was out driving around, and she was like, Margaret, there's not very many cars out here. I just want a loudspeaker driving around all the neighborhoods saying, get out of your house and look for this kid, Yeah, so sorry, I got a little emotional there, but yes, thank heavens they found him. Oh my goodness. So that's why I was really, I was going back and forth about coming on, because I was feeling pretty low at the moment. So, but happy that it turned out well. Yeah. Okay. So again, thanks so much for tuning in live. But that's what's been going on for me the last, 12 hours or so or more. Yeah, so things have been pretty good. This week has been busy. I think, the closer you get to Christmas and the holidays and everything, things just get crazy busy. Right? We have a very small, tight community, but yeah, we for sure in our town. So yeah, it's been really, really busy, and it's just going to get more busy coming up. This week, my mom and I had 2 Christmas parties, which doesn't sound like it would be busy, but it is. Like, you're cooking stuff and you're trying to make things and cook dinner for the family, and I don't know, it was. So we had a book club Christmas party up at the library, and then the next night we had the Quilt Guild Christmas party, so we went to that. Yeah, and then this coming week is the kids' last week of school before the holidays, so then it's going to be crazy busy. And I was trying to schedule all these doctor's appointments that I've been putting off all year. I was trying to schedule them for these 2 weeks, like this past week and this one coming up. So I have, all of that going on too. So, and I'm trying to sell things. Why not, right? So yeah, so also as far as business stuff goes, sales are really slow, but I have not been doing a ton of listing. These cats are going crazy. I apologize if you hear them howling at you. Enough, Pancake. I can't think, cat. So yeah, I haven't been listing a lot. I've been doing a lot for merch, as you know. I'm grabbing him. All right, Pancake. You want to say hi? Say hi. Here's Pancake, everybody. He's like, what? What? Okay, he'll just hang with us now. What was I saying now? I've been working a lot on creating designs for merch, even though they've put a hold on stuff. Yep, there's Pancake. He's just going to hang there. Can you hear him purring? Maybe, I don't know if you can hear him or not. So I'm so distracted, you guys. This cat. I've lost it now. Layla says hi to Pancake. Everyone's saying hi to Pancake. Say hi, Pancake. All right, I'll put you down now. I've lost it. This wasn't the best idea. That's okay. That's okay. Moving forward. Yeah, so I've been making a lot of designs for merch, even though they have it on shutdown right now. You can't upload or draft or create any drafts or anything like that. Or you can create the draft, but you can't make it live. So he's going to make me crazy, I swear. He climbed my leg yesterday. So I've really been focusing on that. So when they open it back up, I can just shoot all those shirts up. Kelly says, this is why I love watching you. It's crazy. You never know, right? So I haven't been doing a ton of listing. And actually, one of the questions that I was asked was, well, now that you're doing so well with this merch by Amazon, are you going to stop reselling? And the answer is no, but I'm going to be changing the way I'm doing it. So I have been going through my workroom and looking at things that I might, that I'm thinking of redonating. And then also I've been putting things on a local garage sale site. And I'm going to be focusing more on smalls and things that are, Maggie says, I always watch Margaret instead of just listening. So I'll be focusing more on smalls, or if I see things that are going to be a big profit. So I've really been going through, and like I said, I took 4 bags out. Just, I mean, I kind of did that method where I looked at it and said, do I want to list you? Do I want to take pictures of you? Why haven't I taken pictures of you yet? That kind of thing. You know, how long have you been here? Why are you still in my workroom and you're not listed? So I was just looking through things and deciding, you know, well, what kind of profit do I really think I'm going to make on you? And so that made it a lot easier, you know, knowing that, okay, I'll just get rid of these things. But in the last, you know, 48 hours, just selling things on the local garage sale site. Now, one of the items was really big. I'll tell you in a second. But I've made $150 just in the last 48 hours on a local, what's called garage sale, on garage sale. But 3 of the things that I sold were American Girl dolls. So that made it a lot easier. But I had these American Girl dolls, 2 of which I bought at a garage sale for $2 a piece. And then the other one, I think I picked up for $10. And she had some of the clothes were American Girl clothes. Some of them were like Build-A-Bear clothes, some were handmade. And so I sold it, the whole lot of it ended up selling for $100 between 2 ladies. So, and then I have some other American Girl doll clothes that they were wanting, that they kept asking, go, do you have any more? Do you have any more? No, because I'm promising to Tanya, because her little girls know American Girl stuff. So I kept the really nice ones for Tanya. They're still like in the box and everything, really nice. Oh, thank you so much. Hey, Nellie. Let me go through and say hi. I think I'm at a pausing point. I appreciate all of the support and everybody's really nice comments. Yeah, it was really, really stressful the last 24 hours or so. Hi, Helen. It says, hi, Margaret. I'm new to the chat room. You do such a great job. Oh, thank you. Hi, Brenda from Washington State. Oh, my goodness. Are you freezing cold? My aunt and uncle live in Spokane, and they're snowing. It's snowing a lot there. We'll just put it that way. Lizzie Tish says, I need to do that, I think. Did you feel better after you purchased stuff? Yes, and I'm not done. So I need to go back through and do that again. Part of it was tough, and some of it's hard for me to do that with. It was like the fabric. I think because it's, you know, my sewing, because I like to sew and stuff. So the fabric was really hard. I didn't get any fabric out. So plus I can fold it up. That's my thought. I can fold it up. It's no big deal. I'll just fold it up. So I still have some more to go through. Most of it was just like knick-knacky little things. Angie says it's snowing there in Cleveland. So yes. Hello, Haggis Hunter. Greetings from dark and cold land of Scotland. Oh my goodness. It is dark there right now, isn't it? Well, what time is it for you guys? Like 6, but it's probably been dark since 3, right? Or something like that. Hi, Fran. How's it going? So yeah, still working on cleaning out the room some more, and then we'll go from there. Just trying to make it manageable. I have, you know, my whole shelf full of stuff that I mean to send into Amazon. I mean, it's a bit late now to send in for Christmas, but you know, people still buy toys after Christmas, so we'll see how that goes. And again, those may be some that I reevaluate as I'm going through and decide, do I just want to pop them up on the local garage sale site and, you know, make $5 or $10, or do I really want to send them in and wait and pay the fees and blah. So we'll see. I'll have to just evaluate each one as I go through them. I know I've got some Littlest Pet Shop in there that I didn't get rid of, so that might end up on, I don't know. It's just, I know some of them were worth some good money. I sold one of those Littlest Pet Shop for $40. It was like one little dog, a wiener dog, was like $40. That's why I like Scrooge McDuck. I don't know if I can get rid of it, you know? So there's that. And then I was about to tell you something else and it just left my brain. Let's see. Angie says snowing in Cleveland. Maggie says it's cold in Philadelphia. It was cold yesterday. We had to wear our jackets and everything, but not today. Today it's, what is it, like 67 degrees or something like that? We had like 2 days where it was cold, like in the 40s cold, and that's cold. So Kelly says, have you ever sent in your Amazon boxes? I sent in 2 a while back, but I have a lot more stuff on I have a big shelf full of Amazon stuff. And I may have posted a picture. I cleaned off my big table in my workroom and organized all my shipping things. So I think I posted it on Instagram, but I'm not sure. Okay, so that's all like businessy stuff. I am making some sales, and I have sold a few things just through YouTube, through friends like saying, hey, I saw that in your jewelry unboxing. Can I buy that from you? And usually I'll do a pretty good deal. Sometimes people, I give them what I think is a good deal, like usually a third or a half off of what I would normally sell it. And then they don't want it anymore. So either I'm still pricing too high or they want it for free, one or the other. I don't know. Okay, I wore a snowsuit this morning, Kelly says. I don't even have a snowsuit. I don't even know what that would look. I wouldn't even know where to go get one. My kids want snow so bad, but we did go when I found out it was going to be in the 40s. We did go buy them a poofy jacket because all they had were those like sweatshirt type, type zip up jackets, lightweight. But then my mom was talking about, oh, in spring break, maybe we should try to go to New Mexico and see if we can go somewhere where there's some snow. Cloudcroft, I think is what she said. So I thought we better get a jacket then because we don't have a jacket, like a winter jacket. So we did. We went to Old Navy and got like a poofy jacket. You know what I mean? Stone Mason said up to 35 today. It's time for t-shirts. Angie says 29 here. Oh my goodness. It is. It's raining. Does that count? It's not really cold though. But it was cold yesterday, which was also another scary thing for that boy being missing, Oh, look, right now it's 74 degrees. So not even in the 60s anymore. That was this morning. Okay, whoop. I'm trying to hide my messy room from you, but okay, so that's pretty much it with the business, and I kind of let you know house stuff, school stuff, whatnot. So let me jump into some of the questions that I have gotten. These are my questions that I've gotten from Facebook, and then a lot of times on YouTube videos. And I do have people send me questions via email sometimes. And I used to be really good about answering them. And sometimes I will answer them, or I'll save them for something like this. The problem is, it's not a problem necessarily, but I have had, like, in the last couple of weeks, 4 or 5 emails of people just saying, can you walk me through selling? Can you walk me, like, they want me to like call them up or like give them a one-on-one, and I'm just like, I've got a billion videos on that. I wish I had time that I could do that, and I feel bad. Like, yes, because I want to help everybody and I want everyone to be successful, but I don't have the time to email back and forth one-on-one about, all the ins and outs of selling on eBay or Etsy. And I don't know, like, I don't want it to come across wrong, but my time is valuable. Not that I'm ever thinking of charging or anything like that, but just, you've got to, there's the information's out there, and I'm happy to help with questions, but some of it's, I don't know if it's coming out right, but sometimes it's more than just a simple, hey, what would you do about this situation? It's more of, I really need help. Can you walk me through this big thing? Does that make sense? I don't even know. Okay. Anyway, so I've just compiled questions. Let's just go with that. Okay. Kelly says, you're not coming across wrong. Maggie says, maybe you should start a teaching business. I just feel bad about that. I love the idea of free information. I don't know. I don't know. I can't imagine it. I guess tutoring, I would charge to tutor somebody, but okay, let me jump into the questions. I'm going to start from the newest and go backwards. Gail says, most answers are just a Google search away. And this is so true. And sometimes I do that and I'm like, why am I doing this? In the Facebook groups and stuff, somebody will say, what? I don't know where to find something like this. And I just Google it and like, there it is. Like, huh, why did I just do that? But I don't want to be what, our group is not like those kind of groups that say, well, have you Googled it? Well, have you looked it up? You know what I mean? Like, some groups are real, not that that's rude to ask if they've Googled it, but I don't know. Yeah, I should just not. Let me just do the questions. How about that? I'm going to go from the most recent backwards because I feel like it. All right, so here's a question. Well, maybe not. Okay, Charlie asks, can I ask how you list on Etsy? Well, I have a video on that, like literally walking you through how to list. But then he says, I mean, how do you know when it was made? Since Etsy asks you that question when listing. And I get that question quite a bit. Like, well, how do you know that this particular item was made in 1984 or whatever it is? And for me, if I don't know, then I just there's an option that says before 1997. So it's sort of like a blanket. I don't know the exact year, but I know it's older than 1997. So if I'm not sure, then that's just what I choose. Otherwise, if it has a copyright date or if it has another date on it, then that's what I choose in that way. So let's see. Henry says, do a live show just for new eBay and Etsy sellers. That's an idea. I feel like I missed something. Kelly, thank you, Fran. I would never have thought. Okay, I don't know. I have to go back and read what I missed, I guess. Brenda says, don't feel bad about saying no to free letters and people trying to take advantage of you. This is true. Yeah. And Fran says, I loved your dumpster diving video with Tanya. Please do it again sometime. Yeah, we actually we planned on doing it this past Wednesday, and her little one got sick, so we had to cancel. Well, I was like, well, I'd already slotted my day for that, so I drove around. I did take a little bit of video. They were empty again. I was like, wait a minute. The last time we went, it was a Monday, and they were empty. This time, I was like, okay, I'll just drive around and see. That way we can kind of get a feel of the land or whatever, the lay of the land. I drove around and they were empty again on Wednesday. So we're going to have to figure it out. So I called her or texted her or something and said, you're not going to believe this, but they're empty again. So, but yeah, we had so much fun. I don't know if she's available this week. It's getting closer to Christmas, but hopefully maybe we can go out. Maybe Tuesday. I don't know. I'll have to ask her. All right. So Lizzie Tish says, what's your Etsy shop name? Texas Gal Treasures. I'm Texas Gal Treasures like everywhere. That's my name on eBay and Etsy and Facebook and everywhere. Yay. So hey, Chelsea, and what's next? Okay, all right, here we go. Next up, Jazzy Red said, do you think you will drop eBay and Etsy? I think that's because of the merch thing. No, I just, like I say, I'm revamping it and probably going to be working on more smalls or expensive things, things I'll make a nicer bigger profit on. And Delinda Beatty asks, hey Margaret, I love your videos. I'm impressed with your sales and organization. I have applied to merch, but have not been accepted as of yet. I'm a retired art teacher, has some great ideas, and not just for shirts, but other items. I have a question. Your spreadsheet, where did you get it? And is that a program? So my spreadsheet for when I do my sales videos and also my merch, I keep all my merch numbers in there. It's through Google Drive. And then when you go there, there's free like spreadsheets and free blank documents and things. And so I just use a Google spreadsheet. And then it has formulas in there to add it all up or to average things out. And then on the eBay and Etsy sales ones, I go to a website to crunch the numbers and plug them in on that like that. So that's what I do. Let's see over here. I have a question in the chat from Lizzie Tish. Have you ever used turbo listing tool on eBay? I don't think so. Is that through eBay? I mean, I list through eBay. I tried InkFrog once for a very short time, and I didn't like it so much, but it's still there. It won't go away. I don't know why that plugin is still on there. I don't know what to do about that. Brenda says, I keep getting lowball offers. Do you make counter offers? I do, because sometimes people they want to see what they can get. Most of the time when I send them back, an offer, they just decline it and whatever. But sometimes I'll send it back and they accept it. So why not? It doesn't take that much time out of my day. I used to get kind of frustrated by it, but now, nah, it doesn't bother me. And I have started implementing the, automatically decline below this amount, because, anything basically below $7.99 or so, depending on the item, I don't know, I won't take it. Henry says, be right back. See ya. And is that it? Maggie says, I think they're doing away with Turbo Lister soon. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. All right, next question that I have. This one, oh, it's a long one. Let me see. Okay, I think this one has to do with free shipping. Anna Maria asks, I watch your videos and learn a lot. I started selling online this year. I made 4 sales so far. Oh, this was, okay, I didn't message back with this lady. I made 4 sales so far, but I was having trouble with the shipping of the last sale. My item sold for $14.95 and shipping was $14. When I took the package to the post office, the cost was $31. OMG, I will lose money on this one. She says, I hope you see this post real soon, and please tell me what is the right thing to do. Do I pay for shipping and lose money, or do I contact the buyer and tell her about the issue with the higher cost of shipping? If anyone knows, I'd love to hear it. So I basically sent her a message back and said, I feel for you, but yeah, you're going to have to eat it on this one because that's the right thing to do. It's not the buyer's fault. So I said, you know, we have all been there. And when I started reselling, that was the hardest thing for me, was figuring out the shipping and knowing how much something was going to cost, because I was not a professional, I don't know, shipper. I didn't know what boxes to use and what shipping material to use and where to find it cheap and what weights could go in and what is a flat rate box and what is a regional box. And I didn't know anything. So I didn't even know what's the difference between first class and priority. So maybe I have to do a video on that. But anyway, that was the hardest thing for me. And I still, every now and then, you know, I think I can guesstimate as I'm listing like how much I think something's going to cost to ship. And sometimes I'm still off, you know, but it doesn't happen as often. But I told her, like, yeah, this is one you're going to have to eat it on. I'm going to put that one in bold because I think that's a good, I've done some shipping videos, but not a straight up like, what's first class mail versus priority and why flat rate, you know, when would you use this and that kind of thing. I mean, if you're proficient, you know this stuff already, but if you're a novice and beginner, you may not, you know. All right, let me say hey in the chat again. Let's see what's going on over there. Lizzie, okay, they're talking about Turbo Lister over there. Yeah. Some people are in the chat are saying, yeah, I've eaten that. Kelly said I've eaten the shipping in the beginning. Yeah, it takes long. Okay. Malaya Hunter, how did you take the nice pictures on your jewelry? Tips. Well, it depends on what it is. If it's really, really shiny, I try to minimize the light hitting it. I may have to do a separate video on this too. So, because I generally, where I'm sitting now is my kitchen table, and then there's 2 windows. They're right there, and then there's one right there. So usually I have those windows wide open, the light overhead, and then I'll have another lamp in the room. And I'll take pictures in my tent. But sometimes with shiny jewelry, it's too much. So I'll have to close all the stuff, close all the windows, and maybe have one light on. And then after the fact, brighten it up, because if with really shiny jewelry, jewelry, with too much light, it just, I don't know, I can't describe it. Yeah. Gail says you need diffused bright light for jewelry. Yes. So I just have to play with it, or I'll take a picture and I'll see a big glare on one part of it and I'll have to close the blinds and mess around with that. But I'm starting to move more into the jewelry more and more. So, excuse me. Let's see. Gail says, happens to everyone. I lost a lot on some bar mirrors in the beginning. Yes. I think we all, you know, it happens to everybody for sure. Hey, Thelma, how are you? I hope your year's going well. I feel like I don't talk to as many people as I used to. It's been busy. Okay, so next question that I've got, let's see, I'm going to delete some of the ones I've answered so I don't come back later and answer them again. Okay, so Likey Kane, I think I'm saying your name right, asked, is it mandatory to post a headshot of yourself as the owner of the shop, or is it optional? And this was, I think, on an Etsy video. If so, would you recommend doing this, and why? What about placing a company logo there instead by buying more of a corporate image? Thank you. And I answered back just briefly on that one about Etsy does like, you know, a nice picture for the head. I don't know, there's like a name, like a picture of you sort of thing. And I've seen both. I've seen people put a personal picture, and some have put like their logo. And I think either way it works. I mean, it depends on also the feeling of your shop, because on Etsy it's more than just on eBay where it's just, here's my stuff, buy it. You know, on Etsy, there's a lot of emotion, I guess. And some shops really get into the story behind their shops, and there's a good, you know, a feel for it, a feeling, if that makes sense. You know, so it just depends. I use, it's a picture of me if I'm a party where I'm wearing a cowgirl, you know, a red cowgirl hat, but I'm not looking like right in the camera or anything like that. So I don't know. So it's just personal preference, I think. But it should look professional. I mean, you know, sometimes you've got people that have put something that's, I can't even, you know, like an item from their shop, or I don't know. Even that would be okay if it's a really cool item, I think. But anyway. All right, next, let's see. Oh, in the chat. Hey, Michelle, how's it going? She said, I just did today, underestimated the size of the box amount of packing material. Went from first class to regular mail, so I had to add $4 to what the, yeah, it's totally, yeah, it's happened. And it still happens to me at least once a month. Brenda in the chat, hey, asks, do you still have your antique booth? No, I don't. It was either me or them, and I like to think it was them, but it was probably me. It wasn't profitable for me, so I had to finally just pull it. There were months when it was good, and then there were months when it wasn't, and it was work for me. So like making sure I get up there, I would try to get up there at least once a week to check on the booth and freshen it up and change things around. And some months, you know, I barely made rent, like just from what I sold there, made enough to pay the rent, and that was it for me. So I'm like, why am I doing this? There were maybe 2 months where I was upside down, where I owed money to pay the rent because I didn't sell enough from my booth. The place, you know, was a huge, I mean, it was like an old grocery store. So there's at least 100 booths in there. So the competition there was a lot of competition and not as much traffic. So I don't know if I would do better in a place that had more traffic, or if just the stuff I was putting there wasn't the right stuff. I mean, some people do really well in this mall, but I didn't. So I can't tell if it's my kids or the cats. Maybe I don't want to ask. Maybe I don't want to know. So yeah, I just had to decide to pull out. I enjoyed it somewhat, you know, and now it's a lot less stressful. My life feels a lot less stressful. But I did it originally because I started finding things that I didn't want to ship, like bigger stuff or bigger breakable stuff, or furniture and things like that. But now I'm like, no big deal. I can sell it on a local garage sale site. That'll be fine. Okay. So let me see. This is a long one too. Okay, Lexus Lily asks. Okay, this is okay. Well, this is sort of a shipping one. It's kind of a long one. Hang on. I love your very informative videos as a walkthrough. Would you please do a video on shipping and returns and refunds, a walkthrough of how you would go through receiving an order and shipping it out, please? I'm curious as to what materials you use or decide for different items. And I've done a few videos like this where I did, it was more last year or maybe earlier this year, where I pretty much every day I would find one of the items I was about to ship out and just shoot a quick video. Like one was about hats, like here's how I ship the hat, you know, and the next one is here's how I ship the mug, you know. And so maybe I ought to start doing that again and just find like one item that I'm about to ship out that I haven't done one before, you know, and here's how I'm going to ship this. So breakables and things like that. So I don't know, I might do that again, because I find, especially the mug one, people keep going back to that one. I don't know. There's like in our group, somebody this week, like, how do you ship a mug? You think this is just a mug, right? So, but what's the best way to ship a mug for real? So I've got my way, and Jason has his way, and I like my way, but you know what I mean? His way works too. So that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, okay, maybe I'm going to highlight that so I don't forget. So I'm going to do that again. And then she also asked the how-to videos on the finer points and what we could do or policies to keep in mind would be great. I'm not sure. Oh, maybe that's for the shipping. How do you deal with different kind of customers, good, bad, and ugly? Could you do a video on stories that have come out of your experiences? Yeah, I can. And I actually did one where it was like how to handle a difficult buyer. And every now and then, usually I'll bring it up on the Sunday videos. I have had one where I accidentally sent the wrong, I think you may remember this one. I sent the brooch to the wrong ladies, the two ladies. And then one lady was really super nice about it. The other lady, the message I got from her was scathing and horribly mean, and just insulting the brooch even that she got. She was just like, this is the most horrible thing I've ever seen. I don't even know what this is. It was just horrible, horrible. And my response is always just like, I just start pouring on the sugar, you know, as much as I can, just like, as sweet as pie. I'm so sorry. It's so my fault. And oh my goodness, I can't believe this. And I'm going to do everything I can to make it right. And da 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 da. And then the next response I got back from her was like, oh, thank you so much. And really, what is this brooch? Because I can't tell. You know, it was like her tone totally changed. So every now and then, I mean, frequently that happens with people. Every now and then, after you pour the sugar on, they're still kind of grumpy. But usually they change their tune. The one person that I remember, and this sounds horrible, but this is, anyway, the one person that I remember that didn't respond to the sugar was a lady that had bought an American Girl doll from me, which is another reason I was happy to sell them on the local garage sale site, because I didn't want to mess with that again. She bought this American Girl doll for me, and it was in bad shape, and it was, you know, it was really clear. I, you know, put all the flaws and everything, and I can't even remember what she said was upsetting her, but it was one of those situations where she was really wanting a partial refund, and nothing was, you know, there was nothing else for it. You know, either you're going to send it back or you're trying to get this partial refund. And I went and looked. She was a seller as well. And this may sound horrible, but this is actually one of the reasons my husband is very anti-established religion, because her whole thing was just about, you know, her whole, what do you call it, the wallpaper at the top of her shop was just like scripture quotes, and even the picture, instead of a picture of her, it was like a quote, you know, a biblical quote, and just her whole story was like she was a stay-at-home mom and a woman of Christ and blah 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 blah. And so I was just like, I couldn't believe how horribly mean she was being, and how even I would. And so after that, I would start like typing, you know, like, well, have a blessed day, you know, and try to remind her, like, hey, remember, this is, you're walking, are you walking your walk, lady? You know, I never got ugly with her, but she was not walking her walk. I'm just saying. So, I mean, with that, it was just one of those, okay, you got to cut your losses and move forward. You're going to have those people. Okay, so there was that. Yeah, Jessel. I'm just thinking that's exactly why my husband is, he's come across so many people that, you know, say they're Christian and then are like horrible to his brother, or mean, you know, like mean about people, you know, it just, or just their behavior didn't match up with. And so I tried to tell him, like, it's not okay. That's a person. That's them. That's, anyway, whatever. So moving forward. All right. And then the next part of the question, because there were a few, I don't know if I lost people talking about religion. Maybe I keep my mouth shut. The next part was, perhaps you also could show, perhaps also you could talk about how you store the mass amount of items you mentioned in another video. You have 600 listings. How do you keep them all organized? Yeah, and that's something else too. You know, I have tubs and things like that. My room is a mess, so I have tubs and shelves and stuff on shelves. That's what I do. Okay, so I am going to delete that part so I can move forward. Maybe I shouldn't have gotten into that. But it's true. I mean, it's true. Yeah, whatever. Moving forward. Okay. Jackie Beaumont. Hey, Margaret, thanks for the fun video. Really enjoyed it. When you said you would test the plastic later, how do you do that? I know about testing amber. How do you test ordinary plastic from Bakelite or Lucite? There are ways to test for Bakelite, and there's a hot water method where you get really, really hot water, and when you dip it in there, and I don't think this one is 100% foolproof. Somebody mentioned that. And it should like have a kind of an acrid smell. And then there's I don't know, I always say the word right. I always say simethicone, but I think it's something else. I'll have to find that. I think it's actually in the description below that there's like a cream that you can get that when you rub it on there, it turns, it'll show up a different color on the cloth or the cotton ball. And then that's a way to taste for Bakelite. Now, as far as Lucite, I don't know. I do have people that'll, when I show stuff, I'm like, I don't know what this is. It's not regular plastic, I can tell. And so they'll say, oh, I think it might be Lucite. It might be simethichrome. Simethichrome, that's what they're saying. I was like, maybe I did get it right. Simethichrome? One time I looked it up and it was like baby bottom cream. So then I knew I had gotten the wrong thing because that's not right. Yeah. Okay, so, and then Angie says supposedly 409. I've never done the 409 method. I never have. Okay, so, but that, I mean, that's good to know. It's good to know when you've got some to check them out because Bakelite can go for really good money. And if you think you just have a plain plastic bangle, somebody's going to snipe that and sell it for a lot of money. But, you know, it's just, I can't tell off the bat. I mean, some people are really good at eyeballing it and being able to narrow it down or say, no, absolutely not, or maybe, you know. So I just put everything in the maybe pile and then go from there. Pardon me. Okay, how are we doing on time? I don't even know. Okay, next up, Darren asks, hey, Margaret, I'm interested in selling on Etsy, but I have no idea how to find the vintage jewelry and thrift shops. Any suggestions? I figure most of that jewelry was costume jewelry. And yeah, for me, it's hard. It is hard to tell sometimes with jewelry that is newer. I mean, and then there's some things that are like reproduction. But I just kind of guesstimate generally. If I get the feeling, I mean, there are things that I can tell, you know, either by the way it's made or by the clasp or just the look. Like these earrings are vintage, you know, just by the look of it. They don't make them like that anymore, you know. So that's one way. And then, you know, if there's a marking, yeah, Angie M, and this is a lot of times the clasp, like the clasp on the pin or the necklace. And so, and then, you know, 1997 wasn't that long ago, so unless it looks really, really new. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much how I go about it. Yeah. Okay, so that's a whole nother, I guess that could be a whole nother video about how do I know that this item is vintage or not. And then research. I mean, a lot of times that's another, I've got a series going where this is how I researched this item to list it. And I've got part of it done. I haven't done the next section on it, but you know, going through just Googling, you know, the item and see what you find. If you find one like it recent, then maybe not. OMFUG, it's pronounced semichrome, and it's a product for cleaning car bumpers. Works well on Bakelite. However, Bakelite market's pretty soft right now, and there's a lot of repros out there. Oh, okay, that's good to know. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Okay, Teresa Jones says, I'm confused on the Etsy sales. This is from one of my sales videos. I thought everything there had to be handcrafted. Can you explain? So yeah, I think that a lot of people still have the misconception that on Etsy, the things that are for sale are things that are handmade, and they're not. You can sell on Etsy, you can sell handmade items or vintage items or supplies. So a lot of times things that may not be vintage that I find I can classify as a supply. Like I have a whole bunch of rubber stamps. They're 2004, 2010. I could still sell those on Etsy because they're considered a supply, a scrapbook supply. So same thing with fabric. I could have current day fabric and sell it on Etsy because it is considered a supply for sewing. So that's Etsy. Yep. Then let's see, here we go. In the chat, Angie M says the hard one for me is turquoise and how to tell if it's real. That's a tough one too. I have to Google a lot of times. And there was a while back that I had gotten some nice turquoise stuff that I really just hit the research hard, trying to figure out, like, is this real or not? Because if it's real, it can go for really good money. And if it's not, then you don't want to say it is real, you know? Nancy Lejam asks, do you need a separate shop to sell each of those, supplies, handmade, or vintage? No, not at all. I have supplies and vintage in my current shop in Texas Gal Treasures. I don't think I have any handmade in there, but if I did, it wouldn't be a big deal. Yeah. And also there's another aspect of Etsy that a lot of people don't realize, and that's digital downloads. And I actually do have a separate shop for that. What's it called? Texas Gal Designs or something like that, where you can create things and it's just like a digital download. I made like I have an advent calendar, and I made little, what are they? Little tasks for each day. So, you know, and it's just something someone could buy it. It's like $3 or something. Buy it and download it, print it off and cut it out and fold it up and stick it in all the little doors or whatever. And then I made like coupon books, like have Merry Christmas for Dad, you know, and it's a little coupon book that you can buy and download and cut out, like easy, quick, you know, here's one for mom, teacher, whatever. So that's a whole nother thing. Hey, Julie, I don't think I saw you. Hey, hi and bye. She says, gotta go, have a good week. Bye, thank you. So yeah, those are some other things that you can do on Etsy. Yeah, easy peasy. And then Sandy R says, is there an app for my phone that I can use for item worth when I go to the thrift stores? I see sometimes people using their phones taking pictures. Thanks for the info. So yeah, I have the Amazon seller app, and you could use this even if you don't sell on Amazon, because you could scan the barcode, and then, or they have the Flow app, and what that is that it will recognize. I'm gonna use my peanuts. If you I'm got them on sale. Anyway, if I were to scan the front of the peanut bottle, it would recognize it and pull it up and let me know how much it was selling for on Amazon. $2. Thank you. Yes. So I use that, and then also eBay has a barcode scanner as well. It's not as accurate. I guess they don't have as, I wouldn't say not as accurate, but there's not as much info in their database. So it's nice to try either way. And now what it's selling for on Amazon may not be the same price, but it'll give you a jumping off point. Thelma says, I'm enjoying your merch videos. More how-to videos would be great. Like, you mean like how to create shirts and stuff? Because, oh my goodness, I want to do more of those, because did you get approved, Thelma? Because it's been amazing. I just can't even believe it. For me, I mean, I see these designer guys that are doing, 10 billion times better than me. But for me, oh my goodness, yes. And then Randy and I, this is almost embarrassing. It is embarrassing, I'll just say it. Randy and I made a video where he was trying to show me how to use Adobe Illustrator and how to just create a heart, and he spent like an hour teaching me. And then I went this week to edit it, and there was no sound at all. Arlene says, did your husband finally get approved for merch? Not yet, but everything's on lockdown right now. They're like, you can't upload new shirt designs right now. You can't even edit the ones you have up there. And then a lot of people that got approved, but just like, oh, I've got an account, but I haven't put a shirt up yet. Amazon has been kicking them off and terminating their accounts. So, I mean, even Steve Rakin was in the group saying that he had his account and he was working on, you know, getting some designs, and then he went and it was gone, you know. And a few other people were same thing, like, oh, I was trying to brush up on my design skills and make something, and then I went and looked and gone. So I think they're really cleaning house right now. So I'm grateful that I'm still in there every day. I turn it on and I'm not kicked out for whatever reason, because it's, I mean, they can do whatever they want. They can decide January 1st, well, we tried this experiment, we didn't like it, game over, and it's done, right? So nothing lasts forever. So you just got to keep going while you can and be grateful while you can, you know. Thomas says, yeah, tech dummies like me, not approved yet. Hopefully soon, because yeah, the passive income that it can bring is really, really nice. Nancy LeJam says, I hope, and plus I hope I'm saying your name right. I know it's invitation only for merch right now. How likely is it I will get approved? I know you may not know that. I wish I did. I would say just apply, you know, and then my hunch is they won't be approving anybody till into the new year, you know, for sure. But I mean, what's the worst? Just apply and see. I'm sorry, I keep fussing with my shirt. It's like being weird. I signed both my boys up because it doesn't say there's an age limit, and they both have their own bank account. And James wants to, you know, he's been designing some shirts and putting them on mine. He hasn't sold any, poor thing. But I keep trying to talk to him about wait, because he wants to save money and make money to buy things that he wants. And you know, I'm trying to show him like there's all these different ways to make money. So hopefully that's not against the rules for my children to have their own accounts, because I won't cheat, I promise. They just want to try, you know, they want to try their hands at it. So, and then Nancy says, have you looked at Zazzle? I haven't done Zazzle yet, but I've done Teespring. But I think that this week, that is my kids, that I'm going to be doing that, because they've still got everything on shut down until the 16th. They haven't said they're opening it. They're just going to fill us in on the 16th about what they're doing next, maybe. So this week I was looking at maybe putting some of the designs up on Teespring, Zazzle. What were the other ones? There was one called TeePublic, one called Redbubble. I don't think I can do them all. That's just a lot. UGR says, started Redbubble and started getting sales. I may have to try that one, because that's one I hear a lot about. Pardon me. And TeePublic was another one I hear a lot about. So I'll have to look into those. But I made $15 off Teespring, so that's not bad. I think. I'm telling you, every dollar I make is exciting to me, because I quit my job, you know, teaching, and the fact that I'm able to bring in anything as a stay-at-home mom is amazing to me. I don't know. Anyway, that is something, you know, something that I never expected from myself. Okay. Oh, it's getting close to the hour. 44 viewers. And hey guys, I always forget to ask this, so let me ask it now before I start winding things down. Is I always forget to ask you guys to hit the like button and leave comments, because it helps in the search engine if the people, you know, if the YouTube people see that people like the, I don't know. Anyway, so hit the like button. We got 44 viewers, so go over there and just give it a little tickle, you know, tickle that button a little bit. Lizzie too says Teespring, is that spelled correct? I think it's T-E-E and then spring, Teespring. Yeah, go on, only 25 people have tickled it. Okay, let's see, do I have time for any more questions over here? Thank you, Purple Lily. Vintage, I'll do one more. Okay, Vintage Thrifter asks, when you deduct fees on your spreadsheet, do you include both eBay and PayPal fees? Do you look at actual fees, or just deduct a percentage? And I do, you know, I used to have a video on this. I'm going to highlight this one too, because I used to have a video on this and about how I did it. And then I took it down because when I was showing how I was doing it, I had my eBay page open and it was showing the person who bought the item. I don't know. I felt weird having other people's names on there. So I need to redo it just to show you how I do it. But, you know, I plug everything into my spreadsheet, and then I have a Google calculator, which deducts all the fees and PayPal fees and everything. You just plug all your numbers in. They ask you, you know, are you a top rated seller and this and that. And then it tells you what your net profit is. So I just plug them. And then I know when I did it before, some people were like, wow, that's a lot of work. You know, I think eBay has a spreadsheet where they do something kind of like that, but I like to do it. I do, you know, because then I can compare my Etsy, my eBay, and I know I keep comparing myself to Scrooge McDuck, but that's how I feel. Like, I like to crunch my numbers. I do. And same thing with merch. Like, every single day I go through what sold yesterday, and I figure out the profits and how many shirts I've got, and what's the average today. Now, what is my average shirt sold for the month, and what is my average amount that I'm making every day? And oh, if I continue that, what's it going to be at the end of the month? I don't know. I just enjoy seeing those numbers and doing it. So it brings me joy. So I'm going to keep doing it that way. All right. Ann Hamilton, enjoy all your YouTube videos. They're so informative. I also enjoy the videos when you travel around to thrift shops in your car. I'm so glad you brought that up. And here's why. I have like 3 of them ready to go up. They're from before I dyed my hair. Well, 2 of them are from before I dyed my hair. So they're from November. And I've been hesitating putting them up because I put one up yesterday, and I was like, how would people respond if it was just like 3 days in a row of boom, 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 right along videos? Because I just started doing them more, and I enjoy it because I'm just talking, and I don't know. So I just thought, let me know if you make it this far through the video later. Let me know in the comment section down below how you feel about those ride-alongs. I enjoy doing them because my channel is about reselling, but it's more also. So I know some people like, just give me the facts, ma'am. You know, I just want the facts. I don't want any of this flim flam mishmash in the middle. You want the facts, you don't want the Margaret. And so if that's you, then this is probably not the channel for you, because I'm going to ramble and talk about everything under the sun and give you some good information somewhere, but you got to listen. You may never know when it'll come out. So yeah. All right, thanks. Okay, good. So in the chat, they're saying, yes, they like the variety of content. Yay, okay, good. I mean, there are people that just do the facts. I mean, and that's fine too. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's not me. I can't just do like, this is what I sold, and it sold for this, and that is it, and now we're done. I think one of my Q&A videos, somebody had said that, like, quit being so silly and giggly and just get to the point. Like, you are new here, obviously. Not only will I not get to the point, I'm going to change the subject 3 times, and I'll get to the point at the end of the video. So anyway, okay, and apologies for, I just looked over and I was watching myself adjust my shirt again. So apparently this shirt is not good for videos. A reminder. Okay, okay. So I think we just about made it to the 2 o'clock hour, and I appreciate everybody for coming over to watch. And yes, I appreciate it, and I'm so grateful again. And my mood has lifted very, very much from the beginning. It's been really emotional this last 24 hours. So thank you, everybody. And oh, if you haven't yet, I'm on Facebook at Texas Gal Treasures, and I have a group over on Facebook as well called the International League of Thrifters. And I like to think that we're the best group out there. That's what all my friends say. But we're really positive, and we don't put up with any of the negativity and meanness. So come over and join us, and it's lots of fun. And we'll see you there. All right, thanks again. Hit the like button, and I will talk to you later. Bye, everybody.